Today, I have seen messages on Twitter in Arabic, someone translated them into English, and they are gloating, they are saluting the murderer in Orlando. This is all over Facebook and Twitter all of the time. They do nothing about this, but we who try to warn about it, we are being blocked. The threat is coming from radical Islam, not from people who try to warn about radical Islam.
That was Ingrid Carlquist on why Facebook wasn't able to block the live streaming video of a police officer brutally killed by a Muslim terrorist in France, but, by the way, were able to block her Facebook page on Sweden's migrant problem. Social networks under fire now as more and more criminals use mobile live streaming platforms to document their offenses, their crimes. My political panel joins me now. Conservative commentator Kristen Tate, attorney Emily Compagno, and Democratic strategist Jessica Tarloff joins us. Thank you all for being here. Let me go to Emily first because I want to get to the legal side of this. Emily, what is out there? I mean, should Facebook be doing more? Should any social media company be doing more to stop this kind of content, including people being killed, posted online?
That's the public sentiment right now, that they absolutely should be, in addition to being held liable for creating that content, for creating that platform. But you could argue that, look, Facebook, first of all, says we recognize it's a serious responsibility, and we have dedicated staff to moderating these videos, but it's simply an ephemeral quality. You can't have a dedicated staff with a process that relies on users to tag and report these videos and think that every video is going to be pulled down with, for example, within 8 minutes. It just simply is unfathomable. And you have to note, too, that these laws are not equipped at this moment to handle this kind of live broadcast of certain crimes. So, for example, that rape that was broadcast the other day, well, are those viewers that saw that, are they witnesses? Are they hearsay? So these are the things that courts are going to have to determine when they now are faced with these new and novel situations.
Well, that's a good point. It seems to me like technology is getting ahead of the law here. And, you know, the best thing about the Internet is the Internet. The worst thing about the Internet is the Internet.
Yeah.
The same with social media. Kristen, you know, that rape, horrible story, put up live on Periscope, another platform. Should these companies, should these social media platforms be doing more?
I think they should. They have a responsibility because they reach so many people to hire more staff and do a good job of monitoring these videos. It's very hard to monitor these videos, though, because you have to literally watch them. You know, when you're monitoring things like articles, you can look at the titles and see what it is, but with the video, you're stuck watching it. But hey, I mean, Facebook and Twitter have done a much better job at monitoring conservatives and taking their content offline. Maybe they need to redirect
really
their
rubs,
resources.
doesn't it? We could put a murder on there or a rape on Periscope, but in Facebook's case, they block conservative voices. Jessica, let me go to you. You know, look, by the very nature of it being live, it's live. It's happening right now. You can't stop it because it's already started. What's the answer to this, do you think?
Well, I think to some degree it's more staff, it's more eyes on it. It's a community problem as well, like with Wikipedia, right, that it's self-editing, that we go around, and if you see something that's false, you go in there and you edit it yourself. And I think that the users, we have a responsibility. I take your point about conservatives being more closely monitored, but in defense of these companies, for instance, we were just talking before, I have a friend who works with YouTube and with the counter-terror unit there, and sometimes they can have up to 800 hours of footage uploaded every minute. And they try to get as many videos off as they can. I mean, she told me that they get beheadings off on a daily basis.
Oh, my gosh.
And there's not a lot that you can do when it's just the number of hours and the sheer volume of it. But yes, more people who work there, and also more people, it's our responsibility as well to be reporting these things.
Emily, at what point do you think the government gets more involved in this? We live in a free speech society, and social media is an extension of that. Does the government have to get involved?
They have been trying, and what we're seeing is an additional conflict here, because these social media sites, for the point of data protection, it's fantastic that they're not, or loath to, turning over data to the Fed. But for this kind of situation, when we need crimes to be proven and subsequently prosecuted, it's a tremendous roadblock that they are loath to turn over. And their public statements are, oh, well, we comply with urgent requests and whatnot. But the fact remains that they have a very steadfast laws and rules against turning over this data unless there is a certain process that has been gone through. And that just doesn't bode well for these crimes that are so contemporaneous with what we're seeing on the Internet.
We are out of time, ladies, so quickly. Appreciate you being here.